I had these Japanese bikes. So I had quite a few. I had a CB, then evolved into an SR, eventually evolved into a W650. But I wanted a Harley because I saw some amazing things that were being done with Harleys. Ironically, I found out later that by purchasing an Ironhead, it was like what rollerbladers are to skateboarders to the Harley world. I didn't give a shit anyway. I wanted an Ironhead. It was just a beast of a bike. But Paul was a fabricator. He knew what he was building, and he pushed me to see something that he saw, and we didn't see eye to eye, and I was quite determined with the build. At the end of the day, when our decision had changed, that if it's going to go down that avenue, it has to be, you know, one of the best things you can see on the road. Creativity is something that was inevitable for me. I think from an early age, Mum recognised being an artist, that I could draw. My teacher saw that I could draw as well, and it was something then, it was like they turned into quite a big deal that, Dan, you should really draw. The school I went to really instilled in us a sense of design, music, arts. And the expectations on me were very high to create. When I was 17, 18, I met this girl. We started cutting apart jeans, jackets, shirts, and creating something out of nothing, really, and it was a lot of fun. From there, I worked my way up to where I am now as a fashion brand manager, and I get to travel the world and be knee-deep in what's happening in the industry worldwide. I wanted to go ratty, I think, from when I saw this guy pull up alongside me, and it was this machine. It wasn't a bike, it was a proper just machine, 2 wheels and an engine. It was so raw and ugly as hell, but there was something that I had to have. And that was, I think, the catalyst for a lot of the ideas that went into the original Harley. I had it downstairs in my workshop, stripped the entire bike down to basically just a rolling frame. I think I even ground the engine down, which I got a good ear bashing from Paul later. I took it to Paul when he was ready. It was perfect timing, went in, went straight up on the bench. It took about a year to build, back and forth. A lot of it was me just feeding Paul parts and going, yeah, this is what we're after. But the relationship was built off emails that Paul was sending me and coercing me down a track that I didn't really want to go down. He coming from a fabricator's point of view, and I just coming from a design aesthetics point of view. And there were egos involved. I mean, I was full of, well, this is my money, this is what I want. But we clashed a lot through the build of the bike. I look at my wife, Natalie, who is a silversmith and has her own jewelry label. And Natalie's an incredibly good designer, and we have this funny relationship where we work collectively, but I guess with our polar opposites, but same unique way of thinking and how we work. It works. I can offer opinions. She understands the corporate world that I work in, and then she has this beautiful jungle of what she creates and this chaos downstairs in this studio that we've built, and it can be hard. But it results in these amazing pieces of beauty. But with this bike, there were some turning points where I guess encouragement from both sides was just inevitable, and we came to the decision, I think off of one image that we saw, this black and gold manifold that had been taken off a Shinya bike, and he had retouched it to be the exhaust. Once that manifold was built, I saw the lines that were created, and I saw that the symmetry that was created from the tank, the forks that had been cut down, this new vision kind of was created out of that. There was a lot of money on the table at that stage, and I thought, well, let's see where this can go. And I relinquished this vision, I guess, and then saw what he was bringing to the table, and it was far beyond my expectations. The day that I got that bike, it was a bit of a long time coming actually, because the bike was built and there was probably 2 weeks when I was overseas, and when I got back and Paul needed the bike for a couple of photo shoots because he was proud as punch at the end of the day with that build. It was sitting in the middle of his workshop, and there was just this kind of golden light shining down on this Harley, and Paul standing with his arms crossed. And I remember walking up to him, and I couldn't take my eyes off it. It was the best thing I'd ever seen. It was amazing. I remember riding it out of his workshop, and I'd never sat on a hardtail before. I was just going, this is an animal. And then when I got out and just letting that throttle out, and it is as rigid as hell. The bike had no give in the seat, there was nothing in the front forks. This incredible sense of rough animal in the bike. I was a big smoker before, and I smoked a lot, and on that bike, that adrenaline just runs through you, and some sense of complete silence and freedom amongst all that noise. I didn't pick up a cigarette ever again. I never felt the desire, because every single time I jumped on that bike I got the same satisfaction. Picasso said, "The chief enemy of creativity is good sense." Maybe that's the point of creating something. It's not meant to be easy, and I guess it's like being in a furnace, forging something. It's stressful, uncomfortable, you have to make difficult choices, but if you're persistent with it, you truly believe you want to create, sometimes you're lucky enough to be able to build or create something magnificent.